Hello,
Hello,
everyone,
hello.
and welcome to a brand new episode of John and Wendy Show here live on the Outlaw Nation Twitch. Thank you so much for subscribing or following us on Twitch. It's a lot of fun to be moving this over to a new platform. I apologize if we're a little bit late. I had some issues going on with my Blue Yeti microphone all of a sudden. So I'm going to kind of figure that out a little bit later. But let's get into things. Let's talk about things. Let's introduce ourselves. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, joined as always by the Wendy part of the equation. Wendy Lee, how are you? Loving the
I am
hat.
doing. Oh, thanks. I know I got a little package from Dune. So
Nice.
excited. We're definitely going to be talking about that on the show today.
Mhm.
But today is a good day. I am slightly productive, not in the way I want to, but like
Right.
you know how you have to organize some stuff before you can dive into some of the other stuff. It's been that kind of a day.
Yeah. Okay. And
So not productive in the I finally got it down to where I need it to be so I can actually like output videos at this point. It's just taken all day, so that's been no fun.
has it been an issue before for you to get that going?
No, it's I think sometimes I just get like one track mind.
Oh yeah.
Um and
Oh
I
yeah.
can't
Yeah.
I don't want to or can't start this one thing until
Right.
I do the other. So
Right.
I think that's where I got stuck today, but it's fine
Understood.
because I put up 2 videos yesterday. I got to figure out this new weird, I think the YouTube algorithm changed again.
Thanks again.
I think so because the views are low.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
low. They're lower than normal, and it's not just my channel; it's other
Right.
people's channel as well. So
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
Maybe they got overloaded at DC fandom and they're like, okay, we'll start picking and choosing. I don't know. I'm still learning all this nonsense and everything going on there. But thank you to MK Songbird. It says happy Friday. Happy Friday to you,
Hey,
MK
MK.
Songbird. Wendy and I, what we do every week is we break down the week's big news and just kind of talk about it, give our thoughts, give you some updates of everything that's going on for sure. We're going to jump into the Alec Baldwin situation, the tragic situation around that. We're going to get into some IATSE updates. We're going to talk about Ruby Rose, the follow-up there. We're going to get into some trailers here with Uncharted and with Cowboy Bebop. Have some K-pop going on, and then wrap things up with a recommendation and review section of the show for sure. Wendy. And remember, everybody, Streamlabs are open. So the Streamlabs address, it's on the screen there. It's in the description, and I'm going to pin it in the chat as well if I can. I don't even know if I can pin it in chat, but I'm gonna put it in the chat every once in a while so you guys can send in some contributions, and I will be checking the Streamlabs to see what you guys are asking us and what you want to hear from us for sure. All right, Wendy, where shall we jump into?
I think we'll go ahead and just give a quick update on the IATSE situation. As
Okay.
we know, Monday came and gone, and there was no strike. So the strike was averted because they were able to not necessarily reach a deal, but at least start the conversation
Yeah.
of that, which is what I think everybody wanted in the first place. It really isn't that hard. So it just, to me, it's just so annoying and frustrating that it had to come so close to a strike, to
Right.
literally shutting down the entertainment industry for them to like want to take this seriously, to get people who are asking for literally just better pay and better working conditions.
Yeah.
So it looks like they have struck a deal with a tentative agreement. I
Okay.
believe voting is still has not happened
Right. No, it has
yet
not
from
happened.
what I can understand. So in the coming weeks is when the voting will come, and that's when the local 800 will unveil the fine prints of these I think it's like 3-year agreement during the meeting, and I think the meeting is tomorrow. There's a meeting, virtual ADG Fall General Membership meeting, October 23rd, and the quote from the article is, "Those details and comparisons to where we were, what was asked for, and what we won will be presented." So I don't know if anybody can just sit in on said meeting. I doubt it. I feel like this is very much like if you are a member, then you can come in and see. So we'll see how the majority votes
Yeah.
to if they like the deal that was presented. And then, then the next thing will be, well, one, if it's yes, then I guess they're happy with the deal. Then if it's a no, then we go back to the drawing board and we kind of see what happens. This is,
Yeah.
we're in a slightly better situation, but I don't want to say like, oh, it's over, like, forget about it. It's definitely still ongoing.
Yeah, and there was a number of articles that came out kind of detailing everything that was put in here. we're not going to go through every single thing, but certainly there were
It's a
some
lot.
increased wages on the episodic miniseries side, increased wages for the long form movies that are in production as well, and some yearly scale wage increases of 3% at each year of the agreement. The lowest paid members in local 8711 will see significant increases each year of the agreement. The health and pension plans are funded by the employers. That's kind of big for the term of the agreement. Ongoing hourly contribution increases resulting in $370 million in new money over 3 years of the contract. Eligible retirees now who retired prior to August 2009 will now continue to receive their 13th and 14th checks. And on-call employees who currently receive 60 hours of pension health benefit contributions for a 5-day work week, weekly contributions for all-call employees will increase to 65 hours beginning in August of 2022. Also, turnaround stuff is affected here. For example, in the agreement, 90 days after ratification of the agreement, hourly employees will receive 54 hours of rest when you work 5 consecutive days in a week and 32 hours of rest when you work 6 days. So interesting scenario there. And also in any, there'll be 20 meal penalties that have been accrued. Each half-hour meal penalty will be paid at 1 hour of the individual's prevailing rate. Meal penalty is when you work through lunch or work through dinner. Wendy and I know that, having been on sets, so that's good. They kind of will put that in motion. Also, they're looking to have people getting paid, the lowest member getting paid within 3 years at $26 an hour base pay. So it's increasing the base pay overall. But Wendy, there was backlash. A number of people stepped forward on Twitter, on social media, to kind of say this was a terrible deal. This wasn't a good deal. That they are things that they didn't get, that they're waiting to get. And all the guilds have come out and said, hold on, just let's wait a second. And IATSE as well has come out and said, like, hey, let's just wait till all the information comes out, all the lettering gets agreed to, all the wording rather gets agreed to, then you'll have a better picture of whether this is a good deal for us or not. So I guess that's the plan or that's the place we're in now, Wendy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, if the members of the union are looking at this, and I'm sure they have more details than what we can potentially get, just even through news articles, and they know these are the people working on the sets all day, every day through the whole year. So they would know a good deal or a bad deal when they see it. I did see on social media, just on Instagram, if you follow the IATSE Instagram, and all the comments that went underneath, it was it felt like the majority was not thrilled with the deal that's being presented. So again, voting will be coming soon. So we'll see if there's further adjustments, changes to this deal. And I think at least now the floodgate has opened for this conversation. You can't stop it now because people are going to ask about it. There's people talking about it. And I hope that this news and with almost striking makes people understand that they're not seen on camera, it's not the most glamorous job, but they are so essential and so important to any and all productions, and that they need to be treated fairly. I just hope that brings a light, because I think people forget, right? Especially like you and I, having been on sets, you see things, you hear about things, or you have friends who are PAs and you hear about things, but it's for, I think, maybe some of the people who has never been on a set of a film or anything like that, they're not going to understand that there's so many moving parts to make a TV show or a movie to work. And these are the people that are doing it. It's not just the actors and the directors. Yeah,
good call. Absolutely, Wendy. So we'll keep tabs on it. We'll see how the vote goes down. And if there are some last minute changes, some last minute wording that comes across for some of the agreements here, we'll see. You never know, Wendy, until they actually set it in stone and set it up for a vote. A lot of things can change in these agreements. Both of us being members of SAG, we've seen that happen numerous times for sure.
SAG eligible, must join.
Oh yeah, sorry, SAG eligible
must join.
I'm FICOR, so don't come touch me. All right, let's people are talking about this in the chat. Wendy, should we do a quick side move here about this news?
I think we should, before we dive into the next bit of news here. Thank you to Jeremy32 Miller for pointing that out, and I definitely saw it on Twitter right before I came on here, and I was like, wait, what is going on.
Yeah.
So now this has not been confirmed by Disney or Lucasfilm or Star Wars. So just kind of take that with a grain of salt. But according to the Hollywood Reporter, I got an exclusive on this. Hayden Christensen looks like maybe returning to Star Wars as a part of the Ahsoka series. And we know that the live action series stars Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano. And this is way after what we've seen of her in Rebels.
Right.
So if you well, hopefully you're caught up with Rebels at least, because I don't know, some of the stuff might be spoiled for you. But Hayden Christensen will be reprising his role of Anakin Skywalker slash Darth Vader in the latest series. Now, we know that the show hasn't even begun production. Yeah, it's starting soon. It's starting early 2022. And of course, no comments from Disney, Star Wars, or Lucasfilm. So until then, I'm not going to hold my breath. But, usually when an outlet or a trade like Hollywood Reporter gets news like this from whoever their source may be, there's it's likely to be true, but again, we don't know because nobody's talking about details. We don't know if he's going to be returning solely as Darth Vader, or are we going to get him in a flashback scene for so he would essentially be playing Anakin, which is something I would rather see than Ahsoka with Darth Vader. I want to see more of that, like just that interaction, because we've never seen it in live action. Yeah. So I would love to see how that plays out. And I wonder who, like, will they just have both actors play quote unquote younger versions of themselves?
Yeah. It's a good question.
What? I don't know.
Right.
But I'm very excited. You guys know that Ahsoka is like my favorite character, one of my favorite characters from Star Wars. And I remember when I first met Ahsoka in, I think, the early episodes of Clone Wars, and then I saw the Clone Wars movie, and that movie made me not like that character.
Oh, wow.
At all. I could not stand her. I was like, why does Anakin even have a Padawan? We never heard him talk about a Padawan in all those Star Wars movies, and now all of a sudden you whatever. But then you stay with it because I enjoyed Clone Wars and I like Star Wars, so I kept on watching. And this journey and the character development of Ahsoka is just so fantastic.
Yeah.
To the point where I cried so many times where I'm just like, is this the end of Ahsoka? Is why Anakin never talks about her? Is it? But no, I mean, she survived Order 66. It's amazing.
Yeah. When you look at this situation here, I think it's fantastic that Hayden Christensen is coming back, a rumor to be coming back. And look, it's Boris Kitt at Hollywood Reporter. Boris Kitt is rarely wrong. Doesn't mean he couldn't be wrong here. But when you're looking at Boris Kitt, when you look at Snyder, when you're looking at a number of people who break scoops across the industry, they're pretty much known for not blowing it and not making a mistake, because they triple source, quadruple source. They make sure that the people they're listening to are actually giving them good information, or they wouldn't have a career in this business. Let's tell the truth. So Boris Kitt breaking this story is almost pretty much feels like 95% going to happen, maybe even 99% going to happen for sure. But I like this idea that he's going to be part of this, because already he'd been confirmed for Kenobi. So now he's going to have something to do with Ahsoka. And of course, Ahsoka's connection to Anakin is so powerful. And we saw that in Clone Wars. We saw that again when Clone Wars came back, and we saw it in Star Wars Rebels as well. So we've seen numerous things where the connective tissue to Anakin is very important to Ahsoka. And so how is this going to play into the situation? What will he appear as? What will he do here in this scenario? Will we see if Ezra is a part of this? Will we see Vader come back against Ezra? Is this something that could be something that plays out as well? A live action version of all of this would be badass, because as cool as it was seeing Darth Vader in the original trilogy and then seeing him have that moment in Rogue One, we haven't fully seen Vader get into a badass lightsaber duel that tests him and pushes him to the limit in any of the live action installments of Star Wars. We've certainly seen it animated, but not live action, or read about it in the book. So that could be exciting. Him and Ahsoka going at it one more time, an older, more grizzled Ahsoka against an older, more grizzled Anakin would be a lot of fun, I think.
Oh yeah, it would be the duel of the. Did you say the So yeah, I would definitely love to see the two of them hash it out. Yeah, the nerd just came out when we talk
I
about
love it.
Ahsoka. That's
I
what
love it.
happens. And a couple of you guys are asking, Auto Boys asking, is Ahsoka pre her appearance of pre her
Yeah.
appearance of the Mandalorian or post? I'm gonna guess post. I feel like her appearance on the Mandalorian is essentially setting up for what we're going to see her
Yeah.
in her own series. And they also kind of queued it up as well at the very end of Rebels. So if you haven't watched it, I apologize. We're literally spoiling it for you here.
Right.
But the name drop was Thrawn. You
Oh,
know,
yeah, yeah.
in
Okay.
the Ahsoka appearance in
Right.
The Mandalorian, who's your master, Thrawn. Okay, and we know how connected that is with
Yeah.
Ezra. I definitely think we are going to get a peek at Ezra. I believe there's rumors, this isn't confirmed.
Yeah.
His name is not in my brain right now, but the
Mhm.
actor who plays Aladdin
Yeah,
has
Mina
been
Massoud.
rumored
Mina
to
Massoud.
be, yes, to be playing Ezra, which, like, I thinking about it age wise and just his physicality and what he looks like, I was like, yeah, I can actually see it. I
Yeah.
can actually see him being Ezra. So this is really exciting. And Ezra has already seen Ahsoka duke it out with Vader once. Like, it'd be
Right.
kind of cool to see,
Right.
the both of them at it. Who knows? Maybe it could be a 2-on-1 fight. Ah, that'd be so cool.
I'm down with that. That could be a lot of fun to see on screen visually for sure. And if it's a
Sabine.
series, if he's on more than once, that could be a lot of fun. And being a part of multiple episodes, that could be a great thing for Anakin and for Hayden Christensen, who's finally getting accepted back into the fold fully, and people want to see more from him. So shout out to
Yeah.
him. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah. There you
Um,
go.
all right, and I do want to move off one. I do want to say one last thing here before we move into our regular rundown. This news broke a couple hours as well. Sadly, Peter Scolari, Emmy award-winning Peter Scolari, actor, passed away from cancer, 66 years
Oh.
old. For those of us of a certain age, we knew him as one half of the Bosom Buddies with Tom Hanks from that ABC sitcom in the 80s. And then, of course, he went on to play the Rick Moranis character from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in the TV series.
Mhm.
Also played in the Newhart series. He was a series regular, one of the best parts, him and Julia Duffy as the couple there in the Newhart series. And then even recently, he was on Girls, and that's how he won his Emmy, playing Lena Dunham's dad on Girls.
Wow.
He got his Emmy at 61 years old. At 61 years old, he got his Emmy. And he
Not
said,
that long ago.
yeah, that was like 5 years ago because he
Yeah.
passed away obviously at 66. So it's nice that he finally got a little bit of recognition, but he was also great on Broadway, great when he would pop up on films. And Tom Hanks and him actually reunited a couple of times because he cast him in a small part in That Thing You Do. And then they did a Broadway production in 2013. They were on stage together in a Broadway production as well. So certainly, probably Mr. Hanks is feeling the pain of a loss of an old friend for sure, but all of us lose an incredibly talented man. And once again, fuck cancer. Like, seriously,
Yeah.
it takes so many talented people, so many great people, and it's a shame. Someone like Peter Scolari, who gave so much to the world in terms of his talent and his philanthropy and his charity contributions and volunteer efforts, to lose him in the world is a sad thing. So save a moment to send up a prayer for Peter Scolari and his family. And thanks, Peter, for all the entertainment and the laughs you brought all of us through many decades. So shout out to you. Yeah, and he was just finishing up the second season of Evil on CBS. So he had finished
Oh my
his role
gosh.
in April 27th, I think they said, and then passed away now on October 22nd. So true shame for sure.
Terrible, terrible, sad news.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on to our next thing, and let's get on back to the rundown here. And it doesn't get any easier. Speaking of tragedy here, Wendy,
Yeah.
this has been burning up the social media since the news broke last night or yesterday afternoon here that a very sad tragedy has happened on the set of this film called Rust with Alec Baldwin. He was using a prop gun in a scene, shot the gun, which has been done millions and millions of times on numerous sets. And unfortunately, a projectile or possibly a live round, according to the New Mexico Police Department, who was investigating this, a live round was shot. It killed the director of photography on the film, Halyna Hutchins. I hope I'm saying that right. And it put director Joel Souza of the film in the hospital in critical condition. And this is a horrific story. It was happening at the Bonanza Creek Ranch in Santa Fe. Hutchins was only 42 years old. Sousa's 48. And a lot of people are speculating, how could this happen? How could this happen? What they wanted to come after Baldwin. But the truth is, this is an interesting thing to look at here, because the union has come forward and said that they staffed the props, they staffed all the things around, but they didn't staff the personnel. Those were local
the prop master
people who were working on the set there.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what
that's interesting.
Now. Yeah.
And of course, people are also comparing this tragic news to what happened on the set of The Crow with Brandon Lee,
Yes.
Who also had a terrible accident of that. And it's just, I mean, things like this should never happen in the first place. It's really awful for everybody involved. Everybody's going to feel the effect of this for a very, very long time. I feel terrible for the family. I feel terrible for the people on set who was there when this happened. Like, that is, I was reading it last night and I was thinking, like, I don't know if you've worked with prop guns on set. I've worked with prop guns on set. With what?
With Windtalkers, the film I did in 2000 when I came to this to LA. Yeah, we were using M16s and AR-15s. So yeah,
I didn't have one of those.
Those are magazines. We were shooting blanks all the time.
Yes.
Simulate war sequences. Yeah.
But they're for, and I can't speak to who was on set for who was taking care of the prop guns. I can only speak to me and John's experience. Like, our guy was very strict. We were not to have the guns, touch the guns, be near the guns.
Yeah.
Until the scene was ready. And then we had to, just because he was the type of person, he kind of gave us like the safety protocols. And actually it was a thing for us that, because I saw a lot of people talking about this, like, why would you point it at, people who aren't the actors? And you forget that there's a lot of shots. And this isn't Alec Baldwin's first rodeo either, as far as like playing with guns on set. Like, he's done so many films involving many guns. You technically point when you're pointing it at the camera, you're technically in a way pointing it at somebody, because somebody's got to be watching that camera. So we don't, obviously there's no details. We don't know the scenario of it, but like, if people are asking, oh, how come he's pointing it at someone that's not another actor? That is likely the reason, because they need to get the shot of the gun being fired into the camera. So until more details come out, we won't be able to know if what happened, it wasn't cleaned properly. But people also forget, like, blanks doesn't mean nothing happens. There's still something, there's still gunpowder in there to mimic the explosion. There's just no bullet projectile. But sometimes, I think similar to the Brandon Lee situation, I think the wad was still in there from, I think, the previous time that it was fired, or I'm not really sure, but
it was a wad that was residue that was left in the gun, wasn't fully cleaned out before the shot was administered in the scene. Yeah.
So, like, for example, for our set, every time we fired it, the prop master asked we would have to essentially reshoot the scene or reset it, just so he could double check. And he also, when I had to point the gun at the other actor, because the way it was captured, so we were kind of profiled like this, so it wasn't straight on like this. He asked if I don't aim it directly at the person, to the left or right of the person, because the camera wouldn't be able to tell that I'm not aiming straight on. So that was one of the things that, and again, that was just my situation, and I can't speak to anybody else's experience, with the prop gun. But this is, like, I'm just thinking the feeling of doing like what you're told, pull the trigger and fire so they can get the shot, or maybe it was rehearsal. I don't know. Again, we don't know. And seeing immediately, recognizing what has happened.
Yeah.
And it's just like your whole world crashes at that exact moment. And unfortunately, she didn't make it. And I believe the director is currently, I think he's still in the hospital being
Yeah,
treated
he's still in
for
critical
his
condition.
injuries, I think pretty serious as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, these are the reason I'm bringing up the live round situation is because the Secretary of IATSE released a statement. The Secretary of Treasury, Anthony Pollock, Pawluc, sent a letter, which is, we're getting this from Deadline. As many of us have already heard, there was an accidental weapons discharge on a production titled Rust being filmed in New Mexico. A live single round was accidentally fired on set. So they're stating officially on their letterhead that a live single round was actually fired on set by the principal actor, hitting both the director of photography, local 600 member Halyna Hutchins, and director Joel Souza. Both were rushed to the hospital. Unfortunately, we lost Sister Hutchins, who passed from the wound. Local 44 has confirmed, and this is what I was saying earlier, that the props, set decorations, special effects, and construction departments were staffed by New Mexico crew members. There were no local 44 members on the call sheet. So that means that they were staffed by local New Mexico hires who did not have to meet the requirements, I would imagine, of being a local 44 union employee. So I wonder, because they've launched an internal investigation, if this was a cutting of the corners here, or if this was
That's bad.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to come out. And I think Baldwin was an executive producer on this film, so there is some blame to go around to him. And remember, and also Jensen Ackles is the lead in the film, and apparently was the next scene. Was Jensen Ackles. Imagine even more so if this had been Jensen Ackles. Of course, losing Halyna Hutchins is devastating, and Joel Souza is clinging to life here. But if it had been also your fellow actor, this would have been devastation forever for Alec Baldwin. And too many people are coming after him because, look, he took a life on accident. That is a terrible burden to carry with you. And Alec has already so many self-imposed and not self-imposed drama and tragedy has been around his life. Remember that voicemail left his daughter. He's not a guy who's not used to the drama in his life. So to add more to it, I think is just a sad situation on so many levels, but also very sad, obviously, for the family of Halyna Hutchins and the family of Joel Souza. And we wish him a speedy recovery for sure. So it's just tough. Santa Fe Police Department are not saying that it is a live round. They're saying they can't say anything at this point. They're still investigating.
Yeah, they have to investigate and not throw everybody, because the media is circling this like,
oh yeah,
they got an extra report. So I'm reading this one news report from Reuters.
Okay. Yeah.
So obviously the police, directly from the website or the article, police on Friday gave no details of what happened, but the LA Times and Deadline in Hollywood cited several members of the crew and other close to the production saying 6 or 7 camera operators had walked off the Rust set hours before the tragedy. And both outlets also reported that there had been at least one previous misfire with the prop gun. Quote, we cited everything from lack of payment for 3 weeks, taking our hotels away despite asking for them in our deals, lack of COVID safety, and on top of that, poor gun safety, poor on-set safety, period. One camera crew member wrote on a private Facebook page, according to Deadline. After the walkout on Thursday morning, quote, they brought in 4 non-union guys to replace us and tried calling the cops on us. Reuters was not able to immediately confirm the accounts, and the Rust movie productions did not respond to a request for comment on Friday, but said in a statement that the safety of the cast and crews is its top priority, and it was investigating. And then this is a portion from the statement, quote, though we were not made aware of any official complaints concerning weapon or prop safety on set, we will be conducting an internal review of our procedures while production is shut down. So that previous paragraph it doesn't read well.
No, it doesn't read well. And clearly this is a lot of people stepping forward to kind of call out certain people for how this all went down, and also maybe even to protect their names because they're on the call sheet, whether they were on the set or not, and protect their reputations as well. So I have a feeling, Wendy, there's going to be a lot more unsavory stuff to come out from this.
Yeah, I think so.
We've worked with people on smaller films, and corners are cut
Yep.
Decision.
Not like this. I worked on some non-union stuff. I think we all have. Okay, but nothing like this.
No, nothing like this. True. Nothing like this. True.
But I also I believe it as well. So
shame. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll keep tabs on it, but certainly sending all our condolences to Halyna Hutchins' family for their tremendous loss. And this is a woman already. There have been a number of articles that have come out on these entertainment sites stating, having quotes from people who've worked with her, who knew who she was, knew she was a rising star as a cinematographer. So truly a tragedy. And Wendy, there is a dearth of female cinematographers. So to lose one in this way is truly tragic on more levels than just losing her life, losing the opportunity here to maybe inspire other young women to, pursue cinematography themselves. The potential there could have been there for her if she had become, well-known and big-time successful too.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get into another situation.
Yes, not any more delightful. Sorry, we just figured we put all this on the top of the show, then we could talk about the other stuff later on. So let's talk a little Ruby Rose and a little Batwoman. Ruby Rose took to her social media, her Instagram, and talked about her experience working on set. We know that she only was able to do one season of Batwoman. We know that she did have an accident, a pretty big one on the set, and that, back then when it first happened, that she had quit.
Mm-hmm.
And now, based on her claims, she's experienced a lot of toxic work situations, a lot of toxic work behaviors on set that actually drove her from the show. Kind of like she's saying, let me see if I can find the main quote here. I think her story went away. 1 second.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, if you have it.
Okay. First of all, she said she accused a number of people including Dougray Scott, the actor who played her dad on the show. She accused him of inappropriate situations with young women and getting a young female stunt double injured. She went after Peter Roth and accused him of having young women steam his pants. He also accused Roth of forcing her to come back to work after 10 days after she'd had the surgery. She said that maybe it wasn't the best idea. And that they came after her and tried to guilt her into coming back and said, "Hey, this is what she alleges, that Roth threatened him into returning by claiming that she would cost the production millions of dollars and that the quote whole crew and cast would be fired." As we said, accused him of having women steam his pants and alleged that he had Ruby Rose investigated by a private investigator after she left the series, after they left the series. I'm sorry, she identifies as male. So I apologize. They had left the series, but they've immediately shot back as Warner Brothers Television. And this is a Dougray Scott statement. He said, as Warner Brothers Television stated, they decided not to exercise the option to engage Ruby for season 2 of Batwoman based on multiple complaints about her workplace behavior. That was the shot back. I mean, this owned the day yesterday morning, yesterday morning, and then boom, WB fired a statement back coming at her, saying that she was being investigated for a number of complaints about her toxic work behavior. Despite the revisionist history that Ruby Rose is now sharing online aimed at the producers, the cast and crew, the network, and the studio, the truth is that Warner Brothers Television had decided not to exercise its option to engage Ruby for season 2 of Batwoman based on multiple complaints about workplace behavior that were extensively reviewed and handled privately out of respect for all concerned. And one more thing, Wendy, I want to get your response on all of it here. One of the young black male cast members came out and said she was fired for a reason, and they know the reasons. And it's hard to get fired as a lead. I think it was Cameron. I can't remember his name. Cameron.
Camrose, I think.
Yeah, Camrose, I think. And I'll look it up in just a second. And then a PA came forward to say, who now runs a production company called Continental Films. He sent a statement out saying Ruby Rose was a dictator and a terror on set and was very abusive to people below the line. going so far as to claim that she always constantly expected people to pick up her messes as she dropped them in front of PAs or whatever, and that they spent all day setting up a room for her, and she just giggled and laughed and walked by the room and just did it as a show of power, that she was constantly late. And this PA also said that he became friends with a friend of Ruby Rose and would talk about all the time how that friend would tell him that they were going off doing drugs and drinking, and these were the reasons, or coincided with the days, that Ruby Rose was coming in late to work. So I get where Ruby Rose was coming from here, but this has opened a whole can of worms, Wendy, for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like there's certainly more to both sides of the situation. I think WB essentially saying that she was that she quit was technically not accurate based on this new statement that they put out, because they said in the statement they chose to not exercise the right to invite her back to engage her in season 2, which technically means, I don't know, do you call that being fired?
I think they tried to let
in
her
a way
leave the show with some measure of PR grace.
Right.
Because remember, it was her saying, I've decided to move on. I want to take on other challenges. I had some physical issues. I can't perform to the level that I want to perform, to give blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So it was a great PR move, but a lot of us saw through it when it happened at the time. And I have some friends who work for certain companies attached to this. And it was very clear. It was made clear to me very early on that it was not working out well. And I don't want to blame one side or the other.
Right.
I just think this was the wrong.
It's the wrong. Yes, it's the wrong mixture of everything, because, and I don't want to not believe her, because I would, that is her experience. Obviously, she did also get injured on set, which sucks. And if she indeed had to come back, forced to come back after just 10 days after a spinal surgery, that's too much. That's too much. This is your lead, and that's their health. You should really take care of them, and see production schedule wise who you can shoot and have on set while she is recovering her body. But also I don't want to dismiss any of the stories, especially from the PAs. We already talked about how important they are on set, and they are a lot of times treated in set horrible ways, like setting up a room, like what you just read, setting up a room for her and her just going, huh. So I just hate hearing about it. I think there's definitely going to be this isn't over. I think we're gonna hear a little bit more about it, because now she said her stuff and he's fired back. Not he, but WB's fired back. So do we get another statement or anything else from Ruby Rose? And I'm curious as to what the current cast of Batwoman is thinking, because we have Javicia, who is the current Batwoman, and I believe Wallace Day is also working on the show.
Right.
Who I've met once, who is absolutely lovely, like the nicest person ever. And I feel like let's just use Ray Fisher as an example real quick. When he spoke up about, his experience, he didn't have a great experience shooting Justice League. Other people did step forward. About the treatment that he received from set, specifically about his interaction with Joss Whedon. I remember Gal Gadot came in and talked about her experience as well. So I think if the cast has experienced similar, soon then we will hear about them sharing those similar experiences. So I definitely think in the coming days, if there are statements like that to be had, then I think we'll see them surface.
Yeah, and I think that's what is another layer of this, Wendy, is the Ray Fisher thing. I immediately believe that. And certainly Gal Gadot has even come out this week and said even more about how Joss Whedon spoke to her on the set and the things he said to her. And I had heard from a number of, you live in this town long enough, you know the sources that in your own personal circle. If you have friends who are lucky enough to be executives or to be production people who work on these sets, they will tell you, and if you trust their opinion, they will tell you their experiences and who's cool and who isn't and why. And so when I look at this situation here, the Ray Fisher thing was easy to believe. I totally accepted that. But this is not the only person. I mean, Candace Patton has come out and said there were some issues here. Nadria Tucker came out and said she had some issues working with WB. And then on Reddit today, a person who worked on DC Titans, or a couple days ago rather, chimed in with a very long thread about what he experienced on the set of Titans, and how we had a good man in special effects die during a test because we were so overworked, and they had to force them to file a formal complaint to WBHR. So
wow,
whether Ruby is telling the truth, whether Ruby Rose, whether they are telling the truth or not, and like you said, we have to respect that because it's her truth or their truth. In the end, there are so many examples of this that at some point, whether it's true or not, you've lost the benefit of the doubt, because there are so many examples of you dropping the ball on an HR side of things with a number of your name cast or people who are involved in the productions who are essential to making sure these stunts or special effects go off well.
Yeah, I think especially nowadays, with everybody so easily have access to literally the whole thing at the palm of your hand with just one Instagram story, that will get the whole thing out there. I think toxic behaviors on set are going to get called out more and more often. And that is I think, if this is the way it's going to go, for if people want to avoid like humiliating situations or being talked about in a bad way, then you run a set, safely and professionally, like you should. I've been very lucky. Like, the sets that I've been on are just so well run. Everybody's so nice, so professional. That's not to say that I've not like witnessed other situations too, but for the most part, like the majority of my time on set has been really, really amazing. So we will see. And I just feel like just sorry that she, I think typing it out and putting it out there, it's a lot too. Like, do you hit the button? Do you not hit the button?
Right.
To put this out? Because there's no deleting it once you put it on the internet. Once you share that experience, it's out.
Tough situation. And I'm sure we'll hear more about it as this goes along. Any chance we're picking things up in a positive way, Wendy? Oh, well, maybe not. All right. What's our next thing?
Well, kind of, sort of. I mean, for anybody who loves the John Wick world, and I think myself included have been asking for like a movie or a TV show about the Continental, that mysterious hotel that kind of, it's running on its own system where, everything's are accessible to our assassins from the film. But obviously killing is also off limits. They have the kind of their own code and their own currency there. So it looks like they will be doing this prequel series over at Stars. It's going to be a 3-episode situation, and Mel Gibson has been confirmed to star in this prequel series. I was surprised to hear the name. Okay. I don't know why. I was thinking maybe it'd be maybe an unknown actor potentially. But this series was like ordered way back in 2018 for Stars, and it's obviously going to be focused on the hotel from the franchise. So we'll probably hear name drops of like John Wick here or there, but it's not going to be about him. It's going to be about the Continental, which is going to be really cool. And they say that this series is going to explore the origin behind the hotel for assassins through the eyes and actions of a young Winston Scott, who was dragged into the hellscape of a 1975 New York City to face a past he thought he left behind. And we also have Mel Gibson, who's going to play a brand new character that we've never met before, named Cormac. But we don't have any other details. If he is a good guy, he's a bad guy, he is an assassin. I'm going to assume that he's an assassin if this show is about the Continental. Because you can't make your character not an assassin. It's like, well, then how does he gain entry into the Continental?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts about this? Like this spin-off for John Wick?
I think there were two thoughts in my head. One is that I was really surprised that they're going to bring Mel Gibson into this situation, because I know Mel Gibson was nominated for an Oscar for was it Heartbreak Ridge? What was it called? Hacksaw Ridge? I don't know. It was something
Hacksaw Ridge?
Was it Hacksaw Ridge?
Was he in that?
He directed it. He directed the one with Andrew Garfield.
Oh yeah, it is Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, Hacksaw Ridge. But so people were forgiving him, and he's back in the fold and whatever. But I don't think the general public is 100% behind Mel Gibson. So this is an unusual casting. It's smart for Mel because he gets to attach himself to yet another franchise,
Right.
as he did with Expendables, as he obviously made his bones in Lethal Weapon. He gets to attach himself to another franchise and kind of in a spinoff, kind of create his own footprint in the franchise, so to speak, with this new character. And I wonder if he's essentially going to be the Ian McShane of the 70s. You know, the Ian where he's in charge of the hotel in the 70s.
Oh.
And not necessarily an assassin, but more like he's the Ian McShane type thing. Because you bring in a bunch of younger actors, you want a veteran actor with action experience and with a presence to be your guy, just like Ian McShane was in John Wick. He brings that kind of grounding presence into the series. So I like the idea, but I was really surprised by it because I know a lot of people really have issues with Mel Gibson, and legitimately so, by the way. So I was just surprised by it all. But as a Mel Gibson fan of his action stuff, I'm excited for what we might see from him. And this makes me now think of the series in a little bit higher esteem. Like we maybe get actually really cool. So
yeah, it's interesting. The casting is interesting to me. When I read the headline, my eyes immediately went to the Continental. I was like, yes. And then I saw the casting. I was like, oh. Like, am I going to check it out? Sure. Do I have stars? No. Am I going to have to get it? I guess. And that's throwing to Jeremy 32 Miller's comment right there. Stars isn't the most accessible streaming channel. So this show might be dead on arrival. Potentially. Well,
Jeremy, Power went on for 5 fucking seasons on Stars. No problem. So
that's
I don't think it's going to be dead on arrival at all, my friends. No offense. But Power went on for quite a number of seasons. So
what else is on Stars?
Heels was just on Stars. Amell show.
Oh,
yeah, Stephen Amell.
Okay, yeah. I mean, there's some stuff.
American Gods. That was on Stars.
Yo, that was good. Okay, that was good. Right. I enjoyed that. All right. I'm just thinking of like if I'm gonna get it, what else am I watching while I have it?
Outlander. Outlander's on Stars.
Like
people love Outlander.
The original? Oh, Outlander.
Yeah, Outlander.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
I love when
Stars never was like the one streaming service that I'm like, I gotta get this one.
This one I gotta get.
But I will get it so I can watch the Continental for 3 episodes.
Wendy. I gotta get this one.
I gotta get it. Well, I gotta watch it. I want to watch it. I want to see what it's about. At least one episode.
Put it together.
See what happens. Oh, MK says Black Sails was on Stars, and that show was incredible. That's a good show. That's a good show.
Right.
Okay, fine. I'll get it. When it comes out, though.
The Girlfriend Experience, Spartacus, that was on Stars.
Ooh, that was pretty good.
Yeah. I'm looking through. The Missing was fantastic on Stars. I watched all 3 seasons of that. Ash versus Evil Dead was on Stars. We covered that at Collider.
Really? It was on Stars? Why did I think it was on a different channel?
Oh, no, wait. No, I'm sorry. Ash was, that was on Netflix. Sorry about that. Vita was on Stars, the Latino show. Vita, the Latina show. Sorry about that. Yeah. Power, as I said. No, Ash versus Evil Dead, Luther. I'm confused. So I guess some of these are Stars.
Yeah, maybe they're cross. You know how they do that.
Yeah. Such a weird thing. Anyway, all right. Well, there you go. That's the situation. Mel Gibson. Yeah, no, yes. Ash was on Stars originally. Okay.
I guess so. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Counterpart with J.K. Simmons. I like that show. That was a good show. He's playing 2 different versions.
Yes. Yeah, there are some pretty good shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, good to know because then once I get it, I'll know like how to quickly watch it. Just binge some shows real quick.
Don't be hating on Stars. All right. What's the... We're an hour in. All right, let's do this thing. Marvel now. The next thing up is the Marvel news. Wendy, Marvel essentially shifted a bunch of release dates. What's your overall feeling about this? Do you like this? Do you understand why they did it? Do you think it was because of the Batman? Tell me.
It's definitely not because of Batman. It's definitely not. There's already a Batman was gonna make money no matter where you put Batman. It doesn't matter where you put Batman. But I think also Marvel films, specifically with Doctor Strange, and because of that movie and how it's going to really deal directly with the multiverse, that's also going to make money. It's two very different type movies, and I don't know how people think that if I see Batman I cannot watch Doctor Strange. Like, no man, just go see both, enjoy yourself, live your life.
Yeah.
I don't like that I have to wait longer.
Mhm.
That's the only thing I'm unhappy about. Other than that, I understand why they probably shifted to give production more time to finish and work on the film, so it looks good for our eyes when we sit down and watch it in theaters. And because it's the MCU and Disney has a whole library of films coming up,
Yeah.
one movie being pushed back means other movies being pushed back because they all may need more time, and the release schedule want to make sense. You can't put two movies back to back with each other too closely. And they have TV shows to worry about within the MCU. Like, I'm sure they don't want to have to get into another situation. I think COVID was kind of the cause of this, but like,
Yeah.
I believe Black Widow was supposed to come out way before Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it wasn't able to, and then so there was that slight shift. And the MCU timeline's becoming quite intricate, and then
Mhm.
now we're adding the multiverse, so everything's gonna make sense, which is why they're making the shift. So it's a whole 2 month shift for Doctor Strange 2. It
Mhm.
was going to come out in March, and now it's in May, and then everything else shifted accordingly, including Indiana Jones, which has been moved to a whole like year later
He's
to come out. What are you gonna say? Don't say
I
if
don't
it's
want to
bad.
say it,
Don't
but I'm
say it.
gonna knock
I
on
know what
wood.
you're gonna. I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, he's gonna be dead
He's
by the time it
he's
comes
gonna
out.
no. He's gonna be fine. He lives forever. Okay, forever.
Nobody lives forever.
He'll live forever. Forever young, forever.
So don't kill Indy. Pass the torch. I agree.
No, he'll be fine.
Oh, come on.
He will be fine. They're filming. They're still filming.
It's John. John knows.
John, no. See?
John-
Look at you.
He's going to be 81 years old. George
fine.
Burns was younger when he did Oh God. This is how old he's going to be, ladies and gentlemen. 81.
He's fine.
How many of you
Harrison
know someone
Ford.
who's 81 years old? Do you trust them to be on a movie set doing action sequences? I don't care how much bike riding he does. The bones still get brittle.
But it's Harrison Ford. He's used to it. He's used to doing movies like this. Come on now.
Broke
They
his
know
leg on
better.
Force Awakens, and that was 5 years
They
ago.
have probably tons of stunt doubles for him. They're not going to have him do the crazy stuff.
He broke his leg on a closing door on Star Wars and Force Awakens. All right.
I mean,
yes.
he'll be fine.
I think this
He'll be
is
fine.
smart move by Marvel because look, they're understanding that there have been some not so good responses, as well as good responses to their Phase 4 stuff. I think they want to give themselves a little bit of time because of COVID and everything else, kind of delaying production schedules, to rethink what they want to put where. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. They've earned that right to disappoint us a little bit, but people also have to be like, hey, take a step back. 13 years ago was the first Iron Man. We are now living in a world where you all are crying and complaining that we're not getting 4 Marvel movies in a year. That's insane.
Right.
I remember people were going insane that we were getting 2 Star Wars movies. Remember that drama, Wendy? And people were like, we don't need 2 Star Wars movies a year. But all of a sudden, we need 4 fucking Marvel movies a year. That's the thing. It's like, it's okay. Let him take his breath. We will be the beneficiary in the long run because they are going to be bringing even more of their best effort forward to make sure that they get everything right, squared away, and lined up in the universe. So, yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's a smart decision, and it'll be fine. Mum Raw says, "Why are the Marvel movies only moving by months, but Indy is moved by a whole year of speculations?" I think there's a lot to. It's a big movie. It's Indiana Jones 5. You want to make sure you are careful with this franchise. As in, it's really important to the fans. It's important to the creators, and they want to do a good job. And people are saying like, oh, what are they gonna do with Indy afterwards? I think this movie potentially could determine that, like who he passes the torch on to, or do we just end it here with the Harrison Ford Indiana Jones, and then they like a couple years later reboot it? I don't know, but I think movies of big adventure movies of that scale needs the time, and you also when we're joking about like Harrison Ford being, getting old and everything, but like you also don't want to you don't want to overwork your actors.
Yeah.
Like, he's the face.
Yeah.
So
That's a fair point.
I think that's why. Yeah.
Yeah. I think in the end, they're shooting like this and they push for a whole year because they can only shoot with him 3 days every month because of his
Really?
age. So they have to kind of take it slow. No, all right, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop.
3 days a month. You need to stop. You know that's a lie. He's a professional.
He's a professional. All right, let's move on here to the next section. No one sent in any Streamlabs. I don't see any Streamlabs. There's 21
Streamlabs
watching right now. What the hell? You don't love what we're doing? What the crap? It's a Friday. My birthday's tomorrow, for God's sakes.
Happy birthday. Happy early birthday. What are you going to do?
35 tomorrow. I'm turning 25 years old. I can buy beer tomorrow. Finally. I've been waiting
And a lottery ticket. Go get yourself a lottery ticket and a beer.
I've never bought a lottery.
What are you going to do for your birthday? You
send in some money, you sons of bitches, because I know you haven't sent me any presents. So send in some money here.
Oh my gosh.
Split it with Wendy, for God's sake. Send in some Streamlabs.
Why do you do this?
Because I'm an idiot. I'm in the mood. All right, let's get to what's trending.
What's trending? So, Rocha, is today a Bones Day or no Bones Day for you?
Hello. It's a bone day for me. I'm feeling my bones. It's a no bones day for Harrison Ford. Let's be real. But no.
Oh anyway, my gosh. Okay, we're gonna walk away. We're gonna run away from the Harrison Ford story because that was in the last segment. So, Bones Day or no Bones Day? Essentially, this is based on a very now famous, very TikTok famous dog, little 13-year-old pug named Noodle, and we find out if there's any bone in Noodle today. So cute.
Look at his cuteness.
And now I need to check the his TikTok.
Yeah.
Every morning to determine if I'm gonna have a bone day or a no bone day. Today felt like a no bone day for me.
Yeah, it was a no bones day. Absolutely.
Yeah. I felt like but I want to like have the luxury of that though, to have like people take care of me, to be like, today is no bone, and then somebody would just pet me and feed me and bring me food. That'd be great.
Yeah, I believe that avid lovers of dogs are dogs themselves. Like they are envious of dogs and want to be dogs. Yep. Lady Outlaw is a mad lover of dogs. I mean, a mad lover of dogs. She takes on every dog that her sister adopts, and so takes on as her own. I'm going to reveal some stuff. I'll get in trouble, but the Lady Outlaw likes to be petted. She likes to be stroked every once in a while. She likes to be fed every once in a while. I have to make sure she's drinking her water, and we go for walks. So, I mean, this seems very similar to what I'm talking about.
I mean, dogs live like, the best.
You bringing yours up there?
Owners.
Oh.
Whoa, she's ready for Halloween.
Oh my gosh, she looks so cute.
We just got her groomed, so the groomer put these little bows in her hair.
Oh.
Hi. Look up here. Look.
Oh, look at you. Haven't seen you in forever. So cute.
She's like, I hate this. She's older now. Obviously, she's older. Yeah. It's just she's not getting younger.
No.
She's got bones today. Do you have bones today? Here, let me put you up. Let's test and see if today's a bone day for Navi. Hold on, I gotta fix the camera. Oop. Is today a bone day? Okay, we have bones. She's up.
Oh, she's up. She's bones.
She's up.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, little 7 or 8 year old Navi. All right, down you go.
Such a pretty face.
She's like, now where's my treat? I performed for you. Where's my treat?
I didn't give you what you wanted. Where's my treats?
I looked cute on camera. Now what? But anyways, I just thought it was so cute because that one TikTok obviously took social media by storm. And now I literally in the morning, I'm like, does Noodle have bones today? Yeah. I'll go check in the morning.
Well, super cute. 9.5 million people are watching this TikTok.
It's incredible.
It's incredible. And they're deciding if it's a no bones day or bones day. And this is really smart by the owner of the dog, who comes in with his own voiceover and his own pep talk.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's the best.
He's getting followers all over the place for this. So smart.
Yeah, I followed immediately. I was like, oh, 13-year-old pug. Follow.
I need to get me a dog. I think that's going to help.
Yes. Get a dog.
Yeah, got to get a dog. I can't, but I got to get a dog. Yeah, so there we go. All right, so that's that. What's our next thing, Wendy?
Let's have a little K-pop corner.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Yes. So I don't know if I've introduced you to CL yet.
I don't
But
think you have.
she is a queen. I should have there's a song of hers called Bitches, and it's amazing.
She's
It's such a
fierce.
bop. So she actually used to be under the same label as Blackpink, YG. She's actually a senior to Blackpink. She started with also a 4-person girl group called 21. 2NE1 is how it's spelled.
Okay.
Very, very successful, but the company really didn't handle the group right, and they were not saying nice things about them, even though every single one of them individually is so talented, which means they were a powerful, amazing group together, like first generation K-pop, I would say. So she's left YG. She's under the P Nation label now, I believe, and she's got a new awesome video called Tie a Cherry, and it's just like high fashion couture all over this, which we're not used to. We're already used to seeing fashion like this in any K-pop video, but the vibe for this one, I feel like it's very, very different. I think she's finally taking her own style and having the power to not have, this other label, and she's going, this is what I want to do, and I want to do it this way. It's very minimalistic, but with the high fashion, and I really like that. I like that because it wasn't too busy of a background. She didn't even really have much of a dance break. Essentially, it really lets you focus on the song.
Right.
And I enjoy that a lot.
It was a good song. I like the song.
It's a bop.
You haven't steered me wrong on any of these songs.
I gotta send you the other video of CL's Bitches. It's probably like one of my favorite songs of hers because it's such a bop.
She's fierce.
Yeah.
She's
I think she's trilingual. I think she speaks obviously Korean, English, and I think French.
Yeah.
Super talented. She's gone through a lot with her, during her career after the group disbanded, after 21 disbanded, and she was solo. And you know how it is, the K-pop industry can be kind of, what's the word? They really focus on what your body should look like and shouldn't look like. So, she had to go through a lot of that as well, where I think she looks fantastic now. She looks really, really happy. She was at the Met Gala. So I think CL's doing great. Everything that she's doing now, I am really happy for her, because this is finally her being able to be her. And this song also comes from her latest album, which is called Alpha. It has 11 tracks on it. Lover Like Me is on there. Spicy is on there. So if you haven't listened to it, you can probably listen to it on Spotify right now. It's fantastic.
Okay. Done and done. Get on it, people. Get on it. Get some love in there.
Absolutely.
I like
and
that.
CL. And the other bit of news in K-pop Corner is we had talked about Lisa last week, and she's dropping that money. She's La Lisa, and she is now being featured in DJ Snake's SG. That also features Megan Thee Stallion. I never thought I'd see her like, how we talked about how talented all the members of Blackpink are, and how if they decided one day that like, hey, let's like explore our solo careers, none of them would fail. None of them. Every single one of them would succeed. But Lisa has such star power. I think that really, really comes through in this video, even though she is, one of 4 people that is in the music video. The song is quite different from her usual style, but I liked that they really, instead of highlighting her rapping, they actually highlighted her singing, which I enjoy, because she is known as, one of the lead rappers in Blackpink. So I like that they're like, she can do both. So she can be the visual, she can do the dancing, and we're gonna have her sing, because you have Megan Thee Stallion also rapping in it. So I just thought it was cool that it was a very, very interesting mix of artists coming together, and I loved it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's good. I like the combination. It works for me in my mind, so it makes sense, and it's yet another step that she's taking. In my opinion, she's moving away from the group and being her own entity, and I think she's the one to do it. But
Yeah.
what do I know? I just discovered K-pop this year, so I've just
Well, K-pop artists don't typically just leave the group like that.
yeah.
Like it's very different from like the American. So if they went solo, they would still be a part of the group, and the group wouldn't be like mad at her for trying to be more
Oh,
famous. And like yeah, it doesn't work
okay,
that way.
okay,
Because they also have like, and I'm surprised Blackpink hasn't done this, but they usually will create like subunits.
right.
So within the same group, we'll take Blackpink for an example, and this is just an example. This is not confirmed or true, but like
Right.
if Jenny and Lisa decided they wanted to be a subunit because they're both rappers, like that could happen, and it doesn't
Oh, okay.
have anything else to do with like their current contract. I want to say I read somewhere that they potentially have renewed their contract again with
Wow.
YG as Blackpink,
Wow.
but I don't know. It's not confirmed. It wasn't tweeted out by YG themselves, so I am not sure. But
Okay.
she has such star power. She can literally do anything. If she
Yeah.
wants to do music, great. If she wants to just model, great. If she wants to act, I'm sure she's great.
Yeah. There's a million things. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. What's our next thing?
This is really interesting. So, Amazon is kind of that like shopping giant that everybody inevitably uses because it's easier to get it on Amazon. You have next day delivery. You have,
Yeah.
it's there in 2 hours. There's Amazon Prime, so there's tons of content in that sense. There's Prime Gaming as well, and how I think they were like linked with Twitch in a way. So I was kind of surprised, but also not surprised when I heard that there is now an Amazon hair salon. There's an Amazon hair salon
Okay.
now. So it's really interesting. It's not quite the hair salon that we think of. It's actually known for its augmented reality app first in the store, so you can experiment. You can kind of check out before you sit down and like how you sit like, what do you want to do today? I don't
Yeah.
know. Like that's literally the question every time I step into a hair salon. I'm like, what do you want to do today? I don't know. Do I want color? Is it going to look good on me? I kind of want to go blonde, but I'm not sure. So like with the AR, the augmented reality stuff, they let you experience basically with different styles, different cuts, different colors before you even choose
Mhm.
what you want. So you can actually essentially see yourself. And the filter that they have on this page, you know how TikTok and Instagram have like filters that'll change your hair color
Yeah.
and some of it looks so real. It's similar to that, but this is, because it's on a bigger machine, it looks really advanced. It looks really, really, really good. So the person who tried it, she tried pinkish hair, she tried platinum blonde, which didn't look as natural to me.
Right.
But then there's also different like styles, like you can do like an ombre, you can do an under it's a highlight, there's low lights, different styles. So this is really interesting. The salon is in East London, and that's so far
Right.
it's the only place that an Amazon salon exists.
Mhm.
And so I guess lucky for the people in London who gets to do that. And then so basically once after you picked your look, they will go ahead and take you over to start the procedure. But of course it's Amazon, so they're gonna have their own branded
Right.
everything, like their own branded towels and things like that. And they will guide you through, maybe even like, here's the products you can use to continue to take care
Yeah.
of your hair. So it's kind of like a shop and a service all in one.
Wow.
Very, very smart. I'm curious to see how this is gonna um, continue to work, because Amazon, because it is a shopping site,
Yeah.
essentially, it is about pushing out the products. So
Right.
I just wonder how that's going to work, and it's not going to feel too pushy when it comes to pushing out their products.
Yeah.
But the
I mean,
concept I like.
it could be interesting as a, how can I say this? It could be interesting as an experiment, right? To see
Mhm.
if people gravitate to it. But the other side of this, Wendy, is you're staying in front of a screen and it essentially is scanning your face to prepare. I mean, that's, to me, that I think there's a lot of people who might have an issue with being scanned,
Mhm.
especially because what was it? Something that's happened yesterday or today or 2 days ago. I was reading that this particular app apparently scanned the eyeballs of 15 to 1800 people who had volunteered for an experiment that had nothing to do with having their eyeballs scanned. And so
Mm-mm.
it was like, wait, what? So it just, this idea, like, I'm not one of those wackos who thinks the government is injecting microchips in us to follow us around. That being said, though,
they're just using this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I do believe that they listen to our conversations on these. There's algorithms on these computers and on these phones, because for sure I'll have a conversation with my girlfriend about something, and the next day I'll have ads for that. And maybe we had it while my computer was on. I was messing around with stuff as we're watching TV. And so the computer heard certain words and it goes, okay, now start to send this person these kinds of ads on these websites. So you don't even have to actively search for this particular product. It'll show up. So that I accept, but being scanned, that seems a little close to scanning your eyeballs in your face to track you.
I don't like that.
To track you. So yeah.
Your phone has the facial recognition thing, right? To unlock.
Yes. Yeah.
That scans it. And then if you also have any sort of like home smart devices, like the ones from Amazon, I don't want to say it I don't want to activate mine, but like the one from Amazon, fingerprint, like the ones that activates you for Apple phones, or if you have a Galaxy, Samsung, or Google, like they're all actively listening. Otherwise, how would they know if you command them?
That's true.
So yeah, that's how it's interesting.
Alexa, swipe left. Are you sure? Oh my God, Alexa, cut it out.
It's gonna be like iRobot in a few years, where the AI starts talking back to you.
It's cute.
It'll
be next year, Wendy. It'll be
weird.
Next year.
All those Black Mirror horrifying episodes are all gonna come true. We're gonna have those like robot dogs come after us.
The robot dogs are putting guns on the robot dogs.
Wait, for real?
What?
No, I'm asking.
You haven't seen this? Oh my God.
I thought it was a Black Mirror episode.
Hold on.
Is it for real?
No. Yes, hold on a second. Let me share it with you.
No.
I haven't shared a screen in a bit, so I'm a little out of practice. I'm
scared.
There it is. There it is. According to The Verge, they're putting guns on robot dogs now.
That's Black Mirror.
Yeah. This is The Verge.
No,
this isn't some, random website. This is a legitimate website that covers this kind of pop culture stuff and mainstream news stuff.
Oh my gosh.
So they're putting.
Nope.
I like, if I can find it. My friend, the blurred girl. Oops. Yeah, there she is. Oops. She posted about it, and her response was, "How are you surprised by this? This was always the end goal," is what she said.
Oh no! I don't want to go outside.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, right. Exactly. You don't want.
I don't want to go outside anymore. Murder dogs. Murder robot dogs.
Murder robot dogs.
Those Black Mirror episodes have always, specifically the one with the robot dogs, those scare me the most.
Yeah, of course.
And there's a lot of them that are freaky and scary.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
no way.
Yeah. So no surprise. I can't find the tweet, but she said like it's if you didn't know this was the next step, you're crazy. This is the next step. Logically. Wow. So,
that's insane.
Robot dogs. What else is new?
Oh,
I'm gonna get.
They don't have bones, but. They won't fall over like Noodle.
My birthday's tomorrow, so if you want to get me a robot dog with a gun, protect the house. I'm down with that.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Let's see here. So yeah, there we go. And let's talk some. So yeah, that's in East London. The salon's in East London, which is now getting gentrified. A lot of hipsters there. So in the past, it's not been the most safe place to go. And now it feels like it's changing its vibe overall. But let's jump into these trailers here, Wendy. We got a trailer for Uncharted with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, and Cowboy Bebop dropped a unusual teaser trailer for their live action version of the anime. It was a mini mission in 2 minutes called The Lost Session. And I have to say, I enjoyed both of these trailer reactions for both of these. I like them a lot. And the Cowboy Bebop a little more than Uncharted, but I still got something out of both of them that I want to go see the movie. What did you think about both of these?
I am very excited for both properties. True. I am not as familiar with Uncharted because I've only played a little bit of the game. I think I have a hard time jumping in because Dustin's brother, who passed away from cancer, I don't even know how many years ago, actually lended me his game, both 1 and 2 to play. Yeah. And this is right before he passed. And then after he passed, I couldn't get myself to want to play it. And I sent this was years ago, and I still haven't. So like, I obviously am aware of who Nathan Drake is and all of that, but not as familiar with the game. With that said, I actually had been very excited. I was like, oh, cool. And the young Nathan Drake. I love Tom Holland. I think he's a really fantastic actor. I can't wait. And then I watched the trailer, and it just, while the trailer looks great, and I think the movie's going to be a lot of fun to watch, it just didn't feel Uncharted to me. And I think it's not a trailer problem. I think it's a Wendy problem, where I'm having a hard time. My brain is so locked in the age and the physicality of what I think a Nathan Drake should look like, that I'm not able to somehow adjust to this like younger version. Like, I couldn't not see Tom Holland or Peter Parker. I just had a really hard time with that. But other than that, I think the film's going to still be a fun time nonetheless. And then with Cowboy Bebop, I appreciate the creative direction that they took. The music, that's from one of the original soundtracks. It's really, really cool. I've been dying to see more and more and more about Cowboy Bebop. And I like that it was very stylized, it was very meta, breaking all the walls, breaking all the frames of a comic book, which is cool. It's just not what I hope it's not what the episodes are going to be. I don't think I could watch a full episode like that. It's too distracting. The anime is nothing like that.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And I've been championing for this show. I am such a big John Cho fan. Like, am I going to watch it? Even if I hate every single episode, if that's the style they follow through with it, am I going to watch from beginning to end? Yes, I will put myself through it because I am a fan. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I think they're doing it just for the teaser trailer. And I think MK said a little earlier that there's going to be a full Cowboy Bebop trailer next week. So I want to see that. And I'm also a little mad that they didn't give us Ein. There's no Corgi in this teaser trailer. Where's the Corgi? Exactly. I need Corgi.
Okay.
So all right, those are my thoughts.
Okay. I like those thoughts. Let's move on to some coming soon or recommended. What do you want to start? What do you want to talk about here, Wendy?
Well, I mean, got my Dune hat on. I think if you haven't watched Dune, it's out in theaters. I highly recommend. Ooh.
Thank you to Warner Brothers who sent me this. I didn't get a cool hat. I just got the book. They know I need to read the book, so they sent me the book.
Oh, wait.
Did you get the book as well? Oh, you what?
They sent me a backpack.
I'm reaching out. That is a badass backpack. What?
It have a mask too, but I wore it earlier, so now it's in the hamper.
I gotta get 40,000 subscribers.
Awesome. But I bought the book on Kindle, so I am. But I barely just I'm literally I think page 6 into it. I watched it again last night because I wanted to see how it was going to be on HBO Max. If I would feel like I had the same experience, and I watched it with Dustin, so. The experience, obviously, if you don't have a sick in-home theater and sound setup, it's not going to be like the theaters. I think this film is absolutely 100% made for theater. I think you want to bless your own ears with that amazing Hans Zimmer music. All the balls. You want all of that in your ears as loud as possible on the biggest screen as possible. I will say the experience, though, was not lost. You're not going to enjoy it less at home. You're just going to enjoy it more in theaters. Right. But Dustin and I were watching it, and we just both kept on praising the film throughout our watch. Just this is so good. Look at these shots. Listen to the music. Look at the acting. It's excellent.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a fantastic film. Enjoyed the hell out of it. My review should be dropping maybe tonight or tomorrow morning.
Yay.
I don't know. I've been doing a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen. So I haven't gotten around to the trailer reactions are easy now. The reviews are the ones that are taking a little bit longer for me. So we'll get to that. I got my trailer reactions down to 45 minutes. That's from shoot to edit to post.
Trailer reaction?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying
you don't take 45 minutes to shoot.
No, I take 45 minutes to shoot, edit, put the graphics on, put the music on it, put the pictures on it, and upload it onto YouTube with the description and all of it ready to go in 45 minutes. I've got it down to a science.
Nice.
But reviews, I put a lot of pressure, so I want to make sure I say everything correctly. And I have to figure out what my style is, because I don't know that my style is. Here are the 3 things that I liked. Here are the 3 things that I didn't like. I like to free form. And maybe that bothers some people, but we'll see. I have to do it my way, for God's sakes.
Well, yeah,
But
you're the
anyway,
one that's speaking about the film. You can't
exactly.
cater your opinion to someone else's liking.
This is my review right now. So just copy and paste. Just cut this out. But no,
No.
I enjoy the hell out of this movie. Timothée Chalamet, in my opinion, goes next level as a star in this movie. This is the ascension of Timothée Chalamet. He's been building, people have been talking, potential. But this is the movie that I think is going to catapult him into conversations for superheroes, for leads of spy films, for leads of his own franchises, other than Dune, because obviously this could go on, depending on how the story of Paul Atreides goes on. But this is the movie that launches him. And Oscar Isaac is incredible in the amount of screen time that he has. Nobody works a beard nowadays like Oscar Isaac works a beard.
It's so good, right?
It's such a great beard. I'm so fucking jealous I can't grow a beard like that. Rebecca Ferguson is great. Yet again. I love the visuals of the villain with Stellan Skarsgård and the tar and the way he rises up. And the political intrigue is there. And I'll say this, it is not a difficult story, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a Messiah story. He is the chosen one. There are warring factions. He has to come into his powers in order to fully be able to embrace his ascension to being, quote unquote, the one or the prophesied one. And that's basically it. That's as simple as you get. And the warring factions are the warring families. And it's pretty simple. A jealous emperor, a family, boom. I'm not going to ruin too much about it. That's it. That's basically it. And everything else around it is layered by the performances of the characters and their intentions, their motivations, their drive. And everybody stands out. Everybody's good. Everybody's good.
Even the housekeeper that Lady Jessica picked.
Yes. From the housekeeper to David Dastmalchian to the dude, to the woman who's the doctor, and to the dude he fights. I don't want to ruin where he fights him, but he fights him. He's great. Javier Bardem is fantastic. So just so much about the film that I thoroughly enjoyed. Our brother Jeff Snyder did not enjoy the film and whined about it on Twitter. So I went back at him on Twitter. We had a fun back and forth.
Did you read the book? He's a big reader, that one.
I don't know if he's read the book. He probably has, but he said it was a boring
Interesting.
movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can get not liking it, but I wouldn't call it. It's far from boring. It's far from boring.
Sand epic is what he said.
It is a sand epic. He's not wrong about that.
You're just insane. That's what I tweeted back at him.
It's called Dune.
He goes, no, you're easy, outlaw. I said, no. You're an angry old man in a young man's body. And that's the problem when you look at these movies. So.
Jeff. Hey, we got a question from Mumra, who cheered 50 bits. Thank you so much. Who writes, what did you two think of the new international trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife that dropped a couple of days ago? Had a lot of new footage in it. Very excited for it. And sounds like it's packed with surprises and getting early positive reviews.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the trailer, but I will tell you I saw the film. And the embargo's lifted. So I can say without spoiling anything, I think it's really fun. You're just going to have such a fun time. Like this is really, I think this is the Ghostbuster sequel, essentially, that we needed. This is the right one with the people who are involved, with the talent that they have involved. They were not afraid to kind of use that nostalgia in the film. They're not shying away from it. And I think us as fans, I particularly didn't have any problem with it because I think this opens up potentially, if they feel like they want to continue, it opens up with the roads that they can go down to in the future. And you've got such a star in McKenna Grace. If you haven't seen her, she's got a resume a mile long already for being so young. She's like, what, 16, 15, something like that. I actually, Dustin and I did an interview with her and Logan Kim, who are the stars in the film. So that'll be out closer to the film's release. So I'll bring footage over here when that comes in.
Yeah, she's 15. 15.
She's so young, so talented though.
Yeah.
So talented, very creative. This may be my favorite character of her so far.
Wow. Okay.
Because she owns this movie. She owns this movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when she played in Tanya Harding and I
Young
Tonya
Tanya,
when she played the
young
young.
everything. She was young
Great.
Sabrina,
Oh,
young
that's right.
Tanya,
Sabrina.
young Carol Danver.
Yeah. That's right. She's Carol
Yeah,
Danvers. Right. That's
yeah. She
right.
was in Annabelle.
So
She
yeah.
was
Yeah.
in The Gifted.
Right. The Gifted. That's the
Yeah, the
Chris
Chris
Evans one,
Evans.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I haven't seen the new
Malignant.
trailer because I didn't want to have this thing ruined for me. I think I'm going to see it next week or the week after. Oh, with the
And it
screening
comes
guy.
out in like in like exactly a month, I think.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I know we're setting up screenings already next week. I've already gotten these emails this week for the San Diego screenings.
good.
So I have to go back and I have to put them in my calendar. So I don't know if I have Ghostbusters Afterlife, but I know it's coming. I
Mhm.
just got a King Richard one. I just got
Ooh,
I got last night in Soho Tuesday night. So I'm
nice.
getting these things. So, but I'm not going to get a chance to watch French Dispatch, which sucks. So I'll have to
Oh,
figure that out because it's out in LA and I couldn't stay to watch it today in LA. So I had to drive back here to do our show
why didn't you just do the show where you were?
because we had to check out by 11 a.m.
Oh,
So
otherwise they get you for another day.
I wasn't spending my birthday in LA. I wasn't waking up in LA on my birthday. I wasn't doing it. So yeah, so I'm gonna find maybe it's an hour away somewhere showing. I'm not driving back to LA, but if it's showing anywhere around here, other
Yeah.
than Mexico, I'm gonna try and go see it. But I don't want to see anything for Ghostbusters Afterlife yet because I'm already in. So I just want to see the movie, which is why I haven't watched the trailer. So I can't give you my opinion on the international trailer. But I know a lot of people who've seen it, including Wendy, and they have been nothing but positive about it. So that's
fun.
exciting. That's so
Yeah,
exciting.
it's great.
And French Dispatch is getting good reviews too, which I didn't anticipate because I heard initially from some of the people who saw it in festival they didn't like it, but a lot of people who are seeing it now really like it. So I'm interested.
When is that? That's out soon too, right? I should
It's out
probably
now.
check
It's
my
out today.
emails. Oh well,
Yeah, it's it was over at the Landmark and at the
I
Grove and
will.
at Century City. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
It's
Yeah,
out.
I'll find a way to watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Anything
right.
else you're recommending aside from Dune that you should definitely watch either in theaters or HBO Max?
I don't know. What can I tell you? What have I watched? Oh, I just finished. We finished Only Murders in the Building. What a great finale! If you guys haven't watched that, trust me, do yourself a fucking favor and watch that show. It's each episode's half an hour and it goes quick, and it's so well written. It's so brilliantly done. For once, Martin Short is actually restrained, and it so works, and it's so perfect. So the chemistry between the three of them, Selena Gomez is a revelation in the show. Steve Martin, and that they work so well, the three of them. And you throw in Amy Ryan, who's such a fantastic actress in the mix as well. You've got, and there's a number of Latino actors in the show besides Selena Gomez, which is great. And so to me, overall, that's something you guys need to watch if you've been delaying on it. I finally caught up on Reservation Dogs, and that is such a
I
damn
need to
good
start
series.
that.
Yeah, and I'm going to start What We Do in the Shadows tonight because I haven't watched any of those from this current season. So I'm going to start and jump into those. And I'm hoping, Wendy, if I have time this weekend to watch Invasion on Apple TV Plus.
Ooh.
I'm hearing good things about that. So,
well, there you go.
Although, how much sci-fi can we get into, Wendy? Foundation, Invasion.
I love sci-fi. Jeremy 32 Miller says after Jeff's Blade Runner 2049 review, nobody should be shocked.
That's true.
I guess he didn't like that one either.
Jeff's not a contemplative person.
Maybe in like a week he'll rewatch and be like, I was wrong.
I've never heard that come out of his mouth.
I changed my mind.
I changed my mind. Yeah. MK Somber says, I watched 3 episodes of The Way Down because of the recommendation last week. Oh, I'm glad I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. I loved it. And I hate that we have to wait till next year to get those 2 episodes, but it's going to be cool. I didn't watch the Brittany Murphy documentary. Did you get a chance to watch that?
I haven't yet. I want to. Okay. I got an ad for it last night. So I was like, I guess that's a sign I should watch it. Yeah.
Yes. But all right, there's our recommendations. Also, Wendy and I both recommend Dune. Go watch this or go read it.
You didn't read the book before you watched the film, right?
Yes.
You have? I didn't know anything about Dune before I went in.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't either. And it was like I hadn't remembered.
I was so scared. I was like, I'm not going to understand this movie.
It's very understandable. All right. Well, that's it from us here for the John and Wendy Show. Thank you all so much for joining us here on Twitch. And I apologize for this makeshift setup here, but I had to hustle and get this all up so that we could do it. trust me, next week it'll be fine. Everything will be back to normal. But thanks to Wendy for dealing with my technical nonsense that I have to deal with sometimes with my stuff, my setup here in San Diego. She's a professional. I'm still working towards becoming a professional. Wendy, where can people find you? And please pitch everything you have coming up on the Movie Couple and yourself personally.
Thanks, Rocha. So much stuff. You can find me on YouTube me and Dustin talking about all the movies and trailers, live shows, just the Movie Couple channel on YouTube. You can find me right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Wendy Lee Zaney. Going to do a horror stream on Sunday. We're going to play Little Nightmares 2. I am like terrified of the game, so but it's spooky time, so I think we're gonna have you can come and watch me be scared. And if you're also into TRPG or Pathfinder or Dungeons and Dragons of likes, I am starting a new show starting on November 14th on Twitch under the DAT Network, which is the Dragon and Things Network. We're taking our private home game where we play Skulls and Shackles. That's the adventure path. So we're all pirates. I'm a sea witch named Aradia, and we're going to be playing that over on the DAT Network. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's just this right here. You'll probably find me posting more about it as we get close.
Nice. That's
it's
great.
Gonna be fun.
All right. There you go. Follow everything.
What about you, Rocha? Where can we find you?
You can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and Instagram, as you can also see down there. Please, if you're watching this and you stumbled upon us here on the Outlaw Nation Twitch channel, please remember to follow and subscribe to me there if you haven't done that already. And if you want to head over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/John Rocha Says. I'm starting to put these up on Saturday mornings. They're live on Twitch, but we put the episode up on Saturday mornings for people to enjoy and on the podcast stream as well. Don't forget, the Outlaw Nation Podcast Network is out there as well, wherever you download podcasts. In case you don't want to see our pretty faces, you can just listen to us as you go about your day gardening or washing your car or going for a walk. Take us with you, for God's sakes. What else? I put up a bunch of trailer reactions this week. I did the best I could from LA in that B&B. I'll have my Dune review coming up. It looks good. Yeah, thank you. I thought it looked good too. They gave me an idea for doing some backlighting back here, so I'm going to definitely be jumping into that at some point. Also got coming out probably a review. If I go see French Dispatch, I will immediately drop a review. If I get a chance to do Invasion, I'll immediately drop a review as well. So look for those coming up. And yes, tomorrow is my birthday. Tomorrow I will put up my Amazon wish list and stuff. If people want to send stuff, they can. In no way am I asking, but I'm going to put it up. But I can't believe a second birthday down here in San Diego. Pretty crazy. Right. But I'm enjoying it. I love it down here. And it was nice. So, all right. And Liverpool plays Manchester United on Sunday. So give me a victory for my birthday present. Come on, Liverpool. Oh, and Christian Harloff, give me my damn match for my birthday as well. At
I thought you were done.
You've been ducking.
Are you still competing?
Me. Well, I want to have one last. I want to have a match before I retire. One last match. And Harloff's been ducking me. He cut me out of the Star Wars match with Gold Leader. I went off on him and he cut it out. So it's ridiculous to me what he's doing to me right now. And I'm going to show up at his house with a megaphone and a bunch of people dressed in the outlaw mask, and we're going to see what's up. We'll see if his wife appreciates that.
And say, remember, the 5th of November.
The 5th of November, or the 5th of December is what I'm going to say, because that's when I think that's when it's happening.
Demand it.
And his daughter is a big outlaw fan, so she's going to wear the mask as well.
Oh, really?
Right. Yeah, she is.
Cute. Love.
All right, that's it from us. You guys are awesome. We will talk to you next week for another live episode of the John and Wendy Show. Y'all be cool and safe until then. Peace.